who is the host of Hardball, joins us now from Washington, D.C. as well. So, Chris, a lot of moving parts, but it's all the same as we've been before. So the machinations remain the same, and what the White House is giving in response to is the fact what we're anticipating here is that Speaker Boehner is going to come out, the deal that's been hashed. It does involve wording that has to do with Obamacare, the ACA.
Yeah, and I think the ACA, the Obamacare program, it's either going to be hurt a little or not hurt at all. I think the Republican plan from the Tea Party people in the House is to make sure everybody sees the headline next week or this weekend. It was hurt a bit. It was underfinanced because you took away the medical devices, or in some way weakened. They don't want to leave this fight without having scored a point against Obamacare. I think that's pretty clear right now.
Chris, so does that mean that that's what Republicans are willing to save face with? That's the willing exit they will take, is just to be able to get a headline like that?
No, it was from day one. They wanted to score, they wanted to wound, I mean not just PR-wise, but wound Obamacare. They don't like it. And I think that's been the Tea Party goal here. It wasn't about big spending government. It wasn't about the debt or government generally. It was about hurting the president's signature accomplishment. And if they can wound it this time, they'll come back and get it in January and February again.
All right, so they weren't able to...
I'm talking for the president. This is the way the president, I think, is looking at it. They came to get his baby, if you will, and they want to hurt it.
Well, all along they've wanted to repeal it. Now they've wanted to defund it, and they've gotten their way so far. But then this comes up with a delay tactic, basically. Again, the president has said all along that he's not willing to negotiate anything that has to do with the ACA. So is this dead on arrival and just an effort in futility?
I think he has to make a big choice. If Boehner won't make a choice against doing this, the president has to make a choice against doing it. And he has to risk all the problems, the hell that's coming Thursday after midnight, if he wants to stand his ground. This is a very tough one. This is very tough for the president. I think it's a little less tough for Speaker Boehner because it seems to me that he does have a majority of his Republican caucus. He stands his ground and says, look, all we want is a couple of things here, and we've got them. And we've got means testing in effect for the program exchanges. We got that, and maybe a couple more things. But I think he might be able to get medical devices. That's the tricky one. That robs the program about $5 billion over 2 years, about $29 billion over 10 years or so. And the question then is that considered a mortal wound or a serious wound against Obamacare? If the president believes it is, it's a real underfinancing of Obamacare, which will hurt it down the road. He's going to have to reject it. If, on the other hand, he says we can afford this, and some people say you can't afford it, it won't hurt the program itself, he will accept it. This is going to come down to a very fine analysis of how bad of an injury that does to Obamacare.
All right, so
that's
Chris,
what this is all about now.